and then give her a chance to respond. But she never really answered any of the questions. Most of the time, it was deflecting to Donald Trump.
Democrats voted against that.
Donald Trump's administration, even that Donald Trump acted. Donald Trump's from the Trump campaign, if Trump would say he did. It's come out of Donald Trump. An individual, he spent $20 million. Donald Trump, if he preferred to run on a problem, he actually has no plan. And again, his policy was his would make them weaker. His plan, Donald Trump, that had.
You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump and his vice president, he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, with someone who professes to be a leader and it being about him. And watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean. He's the one who talks about and suggesting he would turn. What he has been saying about when he's speaking about the American people, that he has repeated it, that he has talked about, let's agree with him. This is about Donald Trump being.
You say now
he's unstable. He's unstable, but he's not stable.
Let me ask you this.
Donald Trump
After
is.
Georgia minutes of talking to President Biden at a fund debate
Donald
stage.
Trump is unconcerned about Donald Trump. With people who know him best, even people who worked for him, worked with him in this, and have said he is unfit, including his former vice president, for him to choose another running mate. Let's go back to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's administration, that Donald Trump dismissed them, not to mention how Donald Trump had.
They're giving me a hard rap.
Well, I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh man, so Kamala Harris gives one of the worst political interviews you've ever seen. Man, it's insane, man. The woman cannot stop talking about Trump. She can't do it, man. She can't do it. It's insane. Every time she gets cooked, she's talking about Trump. Bret Bair asked her, listen, you've been here for 3 years. What have you done? What do you regret? What's going on? What will you do differently? She's repeatedly said nothing. She's repeatedly said nothing, and then doubles back and gets on Fox News and says that she will do something different, but doesn't specify on what she will do different.
Well, if anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
1 week later.
The people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the
the differences that she's packaged together is stuff that she's copied off of Trump when it comes to, no tax on tips and things of that nature. When everything that went wrong with her administration, she's blaming on Trump when Trump wasn't in office. So, lady, if Trump has that much power, why? What power do you really have, and why should we give you any more if Trump has more power than you? I mean, what good are you? What use are you? You know what I'm saying? She constantly says that Trump is the one that is the reason why her office vetoed 90 executive orders placed by Trump to stymie the immigration problem. And she's blaming Trump because Trump made a couple phone calls and got, the bill, those bills vetoed and things of that nature. No, I mean, it's literally a lie. it's a very big projection on what she's constantly said, as far as the Democrats would rather run on this problem than fix this problem. But
And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
Six
and
Democrats
Donald
voted
Trump
against that bill.
learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
the problem is, we all know that they started the problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's a verifiable fact. The bill that Kamala Harris was trying to filibuster over Bret Bair when it comes to, the U.S. Citizens Act, when she was trying to talk over him. It was a bill that would have allowed 11 million immigrants automatic citizenship, man. Like, treachery beyond words.
Well, she continuously talks about that U.S. Citizenship Act, acting like we were trying to do something for the border. But then Brett last night said that would have given 11 million illegals amnesty, a pathway to citizenship. It's called the U.S. Citizenship Act. And so that didn't pass. Congress did not pass that, even though Congress, he said, Democrats had the control of the House and the Senate. But
Like, it's just insane. It really is insane. And we got, of course, listen, they can't do it without the coons. Oh my God, did you see Usher? Did you see Usher up there on that podium cringing? Oh, he's disgusted. Just a couple weeks ago, man, he said, listen, I would rather not get involved with the BS when it comes to the political shit.
That in this emergency that we're in, I think that behooves artists to come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump, because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
You know what? I don't get too deep into politics.
Now he's out just swinging left, right. Oh, it doesn't sound convincing, Sounds like he's, like he got a couple, like he got tied to that post and lashed up a couple times and sent out there on that podium and things of that nature, man. This is just utterly disgusting, man. I mean, this is the thing. People went off on Rachel Dolezal for acting black when she's white. But the thing about Rachel Dolezal is, she was in the NAACP. She was rocking with the black shit. She was dressing black, trying to act black. She got a family. Her mama and daddy disowned her for the lifestyle she was choosing and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But none of, it did, none of that mattered, because she was not black and she was acting as if she was black, perpetrating black, claiming black. You know what I'm saying? And that was all that it took for Rachel Dolezal to get her neck stumped in with the sharpest of cleats. You know what I'm saying? But this woman, Kamala Harris, is perpetrating black while not even claiming black, don't got nothing good to say about black, nothing. Pure disrespect, okay? Pure disrespect. She dropping that, what you call it, that little plan, black man plan, you know what I'm saying, that specifies and others. Like, Kamala Harris, can I get some of that in? Does the wording in those immigrant policies that allows them to get all of that bread and food and things of that nature, does it say and others in the wording specifically? In the talking point, in the bullet points, does it say and others? Does it specify, the immigrants ain't the only ones that can get this? I mean, goddamn, she's talking about a reparations study. She wants to study this. Why haven't you studied the the goddamn immigration problem before you started, you approved to hand him out money and things of that nature, man. Why didn't you study that first? Why didn't you ask the people first if they was cool with having their money spread around to people, that came here illegally? This is disgusting. Bret Bair cooks the living hell out of Kamala Harris because she just refuses to answer questions, man. All she wants to do is talk about Donald J. Trump, but I've never seen her talk about Donald J. Harris. Listen, man, we might have to do a whole separate one. Shout out to Candace Owens. Um, who is Donald J. Harris, man? Birth certificate leaves a lot of questions and things that we're gonna get. Listen, is Kamala Harris a bloodline baby, man? It's looking like it. Are you really surprised, man? I mean, the last so-called person of color that got into the White House or was in the running and got into the White House, I mean, he's related to George W. Bush and of course his daddy, I mean, Barack Obama's granddaddy is a whole, CIA agent was, I mean, I just can't understand what is going through people's head that makes them think this woman is legit. You feel me? I mean, damn, how many times is you gonna just scream about Trump? What are you? What about you? What about you? Oh my God. A black male plan, of course, includes marijuana. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I don't know if this woman is like intentionally trying to slick side the black people or if she's just that out of touch. But either way it goes, you use some nasty work and you just don't get it. If you did it intentionally to disrespect the black people as if they, you know, men in particular, as if they all just weed smokers and things of that nature, and they got to have the weed to succeed and things of that. I don't know what you think you trying to do or whatever. And listen, you should have you boys should have been, you know, you know, lighten the laws on that and things of that nature, whatever. And why is that just a black thing though? You feel me? Like, what does weed got to do with, you know, uh, 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 a debt that's owed and, helping a certain people, section of people and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? It's just disgusting. But this is what the Democrat side is about, man. They're gonna give your black ass specifically, policies that are going to stereotypically put your ass in a box, and you know you're gonna be targeted by the police because it's gonna be some kind of criminal, policy that's going to, your ass is gonna be targeted. You feel me? Especially if you're in certain areas and things of that nature. You feel me? So that's all they got for you, man. At least with the Republican Party, if you have an EIN number on a business, listen, everybody has their own side hustles and things of that nature that they got going on. Everybody doing something on the side or a couple things on the side for some extra money, man. I mean, if you just had an EIN number, and had your books, got your books right for the income you're making, you can get a couple beans from the trickle down, the economical effect of the money that the Republican Party is pushing on the corporations and things of that nature. And that is evident by the whole PPP loan things that happened during the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, scamdemic. You feel me? If you had an EIN number connected to, the right amount of books, it didn't even have to be so clean. You could have got you 10, 20, five, maybe it would have just been 5 or whatever, but you would have got you something that you didn't really have to pay back but some people went with they move on an astronomical level and got a couple M's and they got bammed over their head, man. It is what it is. And I'm sure that other people who did take some M's didn't get bammed over their head and things of that nature. Maybe they had better books, more legitimate things to run on. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what is the Democrat Party really offering? You feel me? And we understand that they're not offering anything, but what I'm talking about in general, not just to the black people, I'm talking about in general, man. Late term abortions, like, really? Is you serious? They are offering late term abortions to, the ladies, like, and this is disgusting. You feel me? And it's diabolical. They are offering Kamala Harris drag, trans, transition surgery to inmates. You feel me? This is what she's offering. This is what she's giving up. $25,000. For first time homeowners. Listen, if your parents have ever had a home ever, you can't qualify for that. You're not qualified for as being a first time homeowner in your family. It's a family thing.
Break this down. The announcement was here. Harris to propose a $25K in down payment support for first time home buyers. Now, that is the headline, which a lot of people read, but they did not read the details. And I noticed this on social media. It goes on to say here, the campaign is vowing that during its first term, the Harris-Walz administration would provide working families who have paid their rent on time for 2 years. Let's highlight this part here. A lot of people didn't read this part. Working families who have paid their rent on time and are buying their first home up to $25K in down payment assistance with more generous support for first generation homeowners. Now, let's dive into this 2-year rent payment. Now, notice how they frame this. They say this is a down payment assistance. So that is them acknowledging that that is not going to be enough to cover a down payment. See, a lot of people are skipping over this and they're not reading between the lines.
My goodness. Giving an extra 25 bands is only gonna make the rent, the homeowners jack up the prices and things of that nature. So it's only gonna hurt the people that need it the most. And she knows this. This is what happened in her goddamn state. This is what she is. You feel me? This is what she is, man. And as a matter of fact, it's going to affect the black people the worst. Surprise, surprise. I mean, listen.
For many leaders, in order to avoid private mortgage insurance, which is the PMI, a home buyer must have a 20% for the down payment. For Massachusetts, that comes out to be over $120,000. And Reggie is correct. He said, I give up there. I ran the numbers for every single state and Washington, D.C. By these numbers I ran, the typical black family will not be able to afford home ownership anywhere in the U.S. under a Harris administration. In every state, we will be cost burdened. Every state.
You know what, man? The one thing that Kamala Harris has been truthful about is that she is not capital N-O-T not gonna do something that's only gonna benefit your black ass, man. And
Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that.
and that I believe it. I believe her. I believe that's a fact, man.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Not no, but hell no. Not just no, but F no. You feel me? Whatever black that was ever in her that she got from Howard came out in that one statement, man. She hasn't answered a question definitively before or since. All right? She's waving, she neck waving, and she looking crazy. You seen the wash?
Thought we was homeboys. Nigga, what?
She said, nigga, what?
Nigga, what? I'll blow your motherfucking head off.
You ask her, what about me? She say, nigga, what? Who you, what? What?
I'll blow your motherfucking head off.
You feel me? Especially with this old BS. What is this and others? Why you got this and others? When you gave out $29 billion, 26 billion dollars to the Indian community, did they have and others in the policy, man? Huh? Why is this and others only, and specifically and bullet pointed in the policy that are supposed to be given to the black people, man? When it's time for the black people to get something, no, that's unconstitutional. You feel me? I mean, is it really constitutional to allow illegal immigrants by the millions in the country? You feel me? She talking about she gonna follow the law. Like, if you're a president, it's called an executive order. You can make laws and break laws. All right. So, I mean, listen, it's just, the woman is disgusting. She's very disgusting. She's very deceptive. And I just can't, I'm disappointed in the males of a certain age that are still putting the cape on for this activity, man. I just can't, man. When you talking this butt Trump, like, what? Like, but what, man? What? Like, butt Trump, you don't even know what you buttoning about. Like, you feel me? All it is a butt Trump, just like Kamala Harris. Just like her. All you have to say is but Trump, man. And Trump ain't been in the office for years and years. So why do you continuously keep bringing him up? It must be because he needs to be brought into office, right? I mean, this is disgusting work, man. I mean, oh my goodness. Shout out to Kamala Harris. Bret Bair cooks the living hell out of Kamala Harris and her refusal to be honest about what she speaks on when she's speaking on it, man. She's not sorry.
Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions.
She's not even sorry to the victims that, whatever, man. Shout out to Kamala Harris.